I'm pleased to report to you again and to share with you our returns for the third quarter of fiscal year 2017. As the state continues to rely on Treasury monies to help secure funds for highway projects and help other entities invest their cash funds more efficiently, I fully recognize the immense responsibility we have in ensuring that taxpayers get the most out of their hard-earned tax dollars. We have set the bar high for ourselves with an overall increase of $21.6 million during the first half of this fiscal year. I'm excited to be able to share with you all, once again, an increase in receipted amounts for the third quarter. We receipted $2.8 million in the third quarter of this fiscal year in our short-term portfolio, which is about $312,000 more than we receipted in the third quarter of fiscal 2016. Most of that comes from our commercial paper accounts, which ended the quarter at $2.4 million. That's due in some part to the recent hikes in the federal interest rate that are producing higher yields. Additionally, we continue to negotiate more favorable rates on our demand accounts while positioning short-term portfolio to get the best for the state. Our long-term portfolio saw a growth of about $1.4 million during the third quarter of fiscal 2017 compared to this same quarter last year. You may remember that we discussed at our February meeting the repositioning of our mortgage-backed securities. We've repositioned some of our short-term commercial paper funds into mortgage-backed securities, which is the gist of why you're seeing less of an increase in commercial paper accounts and more of an increase in mortgage-backed accounts. This shows the combined totals for both our long-term and short-term portfolios. At the end of the third quarter ending March 31, we receipted $17.7 million, which is $1.8 million more than we were at this time last year. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the combined receipted amounts broken down by each month during fiscal 2017 and fiscal 2016. You'll see that we averaged about $5.9 million per month in the third quarter of this year compared to about $5.3 million per month in fiscal 2016. Overall, this amounts to a 23% increase when compared where we were in FY16 to where we are in FY17. This final slide gives a historic view of where this office has been to where we are currently. We're 3/4 of the way through FY 2017, and our current total receipted amounts for the fiscal year amounts to $39.4 million, compared to about $32 million for the first 9 months of fiscal 2016. That's an increase of about $7.3 million. Our overall total for fiscal 2016 was $48.9 million. I'm not in the business of predicting future returns, but it looks like we're right on par to produce similar, if not better, results this fiscal year. When I became treasurer, I challenged my team to take a more active investment approach, and they have set the bar very high for us. In fact, the 2 short years I've been in office, we've received $100 million back to the state of Arkansas in Treasury General Funds. That's more in 2 years than the previous administration was able to do in 4 years. Moreover, our state treasury receipts haven't been as high as they are now in almost a decade. Though interest rates have recently risen, they are still historically lower than they were back then, so we're doing more with less. In light of the recent legislation regarding the State Treasury Money Management Fund, here's a historical view of where we stand with the fund over the past 15 months, and as of March this year we're getting 1.1 basis points as our return on investment. Additionally, the Arkansas Workers' Compensation Commission tasked my office last year with investing money from its death and permanent total disability fund in order to try to get higher returns. I'm glad to report to you today that we've been doing so for a full calendar year now and have returned approximately $16 million back to the fund in the first 3 quarters of this year, and we're well on our way to outpace previous year's $18 million in receipts. Needless to say, I'm excited about our future, and we're helping to provide much needed funding for the state of Arkansas.